In other news tonight, millions of dollars in drugs seized from a Long Island home. Take a look here. Now a Holbrook couple are accused of being major drug traffickers. News 12's crime reporter Krista McNally was in court as the suspects faced a judge.
144 kilograms of pure fentanyl, enough to kill 72 million Americans, being sold like candy on the dark web until ICE shut it down. In the most massive darknet bust ever recorded, 270 international dealers thought they could hide behind encrypted networks while poisoning communities with lethal drugs. But ICE and Europol had other plans. The numbers seemed impossible at first. Dark web drug sales hitting $315 million annually, more revenue than many Fortune 500 generate. Fentanyl dealers operating with a staggering 99.8% anonymity rate, and perhaps most disturbing, 0 successful prosecutions for 3 years running. This wasn't a failure of will. It was a failure of tools. Law enforcement found themselves fighting ghosts, digital phantoms who appeared, sold their poison, and vanished without a trace. The explanations seemed logical enough. It's just tech-savvy street dealers, some experts claimed. Probably small-scale operations hiding behind VPNs, others suggested. Law enforcement will adapt like they always do, became the standard reassurance. But these weren't street dealers with a website. They weren't even organized crime with better tech. What was emerging was something entirely new, a digital cartel that operated by different rules with unprecedented reach. Traditional drug busts continued. Police raided houses, seized shipments at ports, and arrested corner dealers. The system was working as designed, except it wasn't, because the real action had moved beyond physical space into a digital realm where conventional tactics meant nothing. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered an architecture of crime unlike anything they'd seen before. Military-grade encryption protecting criminal communications, international money laundering through multiple cryptocurrencies, making transactions virtually untraceable, sophisticated supply chains spanning 4 continents with no single point of failure. Most shocking of all, professional customer service and quality guarantees, drug dealers with return policies and satisfaction ratings. This wasn't just crime. It was crime reimagined as e-commerce. A drug dealer in Berlin could order bulk fentanyl online, pay with untraceable cryptocurrency, and have it delivered through legitimate shipping channels within days. He never met his supplier, never exchanged physical currency, never risked traditional exposure. What federal agents were facing wasn't just online drug dealing. It was a complete digital reconstruction of the international narcotics trade, invisible to traditional law enforcement and operating at industrial scale. The digital cartel had done what seemed impossible. They'd taken the entire drug supply chain, from production to distribution to sales, and rebuilt it in a virtual space where badges and guns and decades of law enforcement expertise suddenly meant nothing. As Operation Raptor took shape, investigators mapped out the true drivers of this invisible empire. At the source, Chinese chemical suppliers manufacturing precursors and pure fentanyl under the guise of legitimate pharmaceutical research. Their products shipped through commercial channels, mislabeled as everything from industrial chemicals to beauty products. The distribution backbone. Mexican cartels providing existing smuggling routes and logistical expertise, moving product across borders with practiced efficiency. The technical infrastructure, European tech experts, many formerly legitimate IT professionals, building platforms with unbreakable encryption and anonymity features that kept users completely hidden. The final mile. American dealers handling local distribution, receiving product through ordinary mail services and coordinating pickups through encrypted messaging apps. It was an unholy alliance of specialized skills, manufacturing expertise, smuggling infrastructure, technical brilliance, and street-level distribution, all connected not through traditional criminal hierarchies, but through digital platforms designed for maximum anonymity. At its height, the system operated with frightening efficiency. $200 million in untraceable cryptocurrency flowing monthly between continents. Customer reviews and quality ratings that would make Amazon jealous. 24/7 customer support in multiple languages. Guaranteed delivery or money-back policies. Dead drops coordinated through encrypted apps that deleted all evidence seconds after being read. One platform called White Shadow Market processed over 8,000 fentanyl transactions daily at its peak. Users rated dealers with 5-star systems. Top sellers earned special status and preferred placement. The platform even offered escrow services to ensure buyers received products before funds were released. This wasn't just criminal innovation, it was criminal revolution, taking everything e-commerce had learned about customer satisfaction and applying it to the deadliest drug epidemic in American history. Progress seemed possible as awareness grew. International task forces formed, bringing together agencies from 27 countries. New cryptocurrency tracking technology began untangling the financial web. Darknet platforms were identified and mapped. Individual arrests started making headlines. For the first time, it seemed like law enforcement was catching up to the digital evolution of drug trafficking. Technical teams at ICE developed new methods to trace cryptocurrency transactions. Europol established dedicated darknet units. The machinery of justice was adapting, evolving, learning. But then came the sobering reality. For every platform shut down, 3 new ones emerged. Arrests only removed low-level operators, easily replaced within days. Criminal networks adapted faster than law enforcement protocols could be updated, and the human cost kept mounting. Fentanyl deaths spiked to record levels across multiple countries. In America alone, over 70,000 people died from synthetic opioid overdoses in a single year, more than car accidents and gun violence combined. The digital cartel had created something that seemed unstoppable, a hydra that grew stronger with every head cut off. Traditional victories seemed hollow as the online trade adapted and expanded beyond each enforcement action. Then came the turning point, Operation Raptor, a coordinated strike involving ICE, Europol, and law enforcement from 21 countries. The largest darknet enforcement action in history. In a synchronized global operation spanning 3 continents, teams executed search warrants on the homes of platform administrators, seized servers in 6 countries, and arrested high-level operators who thought their technical sophistication made them untouchable. The results were immediate and devastating to the digital cartel. Criminal overconfidence shattered as supposedly anonymous administrators found federal agents at their doorsteps. Law enforcement digital capabilities proven effective against the most sophisticated encryption. International cooperation mechanisms established new precedents for cross-border operations. Most importantly, technology turned from shield to weapon. The same digital tools that had protected criminal networks became the means of their unraveling. What emerged from Operation Raptor changed the game permanently. ICE's cyber capabilities revealed themselves as world-class, able to penetrate networks previously thought impenetrable. International coordination reached unprecedented levels, with real-time intelligence sharing across borders. Digital forensics became the primary investigation tool, more powerful than informants or surveillance. Criminal networks found themselves forced into less secure communications as their platforms fell. The narrative had shifted. The invincible digital cartel suddenly looked vulnerable. The untraceable became traced. The anonymous became named. The untouchable faced justice. Today's reality reflects this transformation. The dark web no longer provides criminal sanctuary, as federal agencies maintain persistent presence in spaces once considered beyond reach. Cryptocurrency transactions, once the ultimate tool for anonymity, now create permanent traceable records that federal investigators have learned to decode. International law enforcement shares real-time intelligence on emerging threats through platforms established during Operation Raptor. Future criminal networks must operate with constant fear of digital exposure, never knowing when their secure communications are already being monitored. The digital cartel empire that seemed unstoppable proved that no technology can outsmart dedicated federal agents with the right tools and global cooperation. ICE and Europol didn't just win a battle, they rewrote the rules of digital warfare. The operation seized 144 kilograms of fentanyl, enough to kill 72 million people. It recovered $33 million in cryptocurrency and cash. It shut down 9 major darknet marketplaces and arrested 270 dealers across 21 countries. But the real victory was more profound. It was proof that even as crime evolves into digital spaces, justice evolves with it. That no matter how sophisticated the encryption or how anonymous the platform, the reach of law enforcement extends into every corner of the internet. The dark web just learned what criminals throughout history eventually discover. American justice has no boundaries, physical or digital. And those who poison our communities will face consequences, no matter how well they think they're hidden. For the digital cartel, the darkness wasn't the shield they thought it was. It was simply the background against which federal agents shined their light.